Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Reform Will Fix It local election tour, live from the Isle of Wight. Now, please welcome Councillor and Broadcaster, Darren Grimes.
Hello, hello, hello. How we doing? My friends, what a pleasure it is to be here on the Isle of Wight. It's actually my first visit. Can you believe it? Yesterday, I was in Wetherspoons, the man on the moon. And I was reading the paper, and in this paper, it says that the Isle of Wight, your local council, is having to find 2 million quid to fund illegal migrants. Can you believe that? 2 million quid. I imagine you'd rather have that spent on your ferry service, would you? Yeah, there we are. We in this party, my friends, are focusing on the real issues ahead of May the 7th local elections. We will, of course, be touring those election hotspots, Isle of Wight being one of them. And it's been such a fruitful trip, actually, hearing from people and their concerns about the direction of this country. This is a part of the world that has voted, I think, on both sides, actually. They even went Lib Dem for a little bit. And where's it got them? Where's it got yous? Yeah. I think there's only one option for it. Reform UK. I really do, my friends. But actually, this is a unique opportunity tonight because we're not just hearing from our brilliant candidates, who I'm so grateful to for standing, allowing democracy to actually take place. Our party members, brilliant as they are, allowing us to be able to go out, campaign and win votes. But there are also members of the general public who are among us as well. If you're a party member, put your hand up. Brilliant, thank you very much. If you're not a party member, put your hand up. Tons, absolutely tons. Can I ask you, sir, what's brought you out tonight?
Well, it's the first time I've been to one of these meetings, but I just wanted to hear what Reform have got to say, but we'll see how it goes.
Have you voted any other party other than either Labour or the Conservatives before?
Going back a few years, yeah, maybe, but it's going to have to be Reform. There's no other choice, really.
Well, yeah, I mean, we'll hear more on that later on, but thank you very much for that. This is the message that we're hearing loud and clear throughout places just like this, that actually Britain is broken and Reform will fix it. That's exactly, yeah, absolutely. I'll pop a $5 in the post for that fella with that bellow. Listen, the facts are here with us right now that actually places like that I represent in County Durham, we share the same mission with places just like this, that actually we've been ignored, maligned, sidelined by the established parties for much too long. And it's time for change. I mean, how many people voted for Keir Starmer on a pledge of change? Change. I tell you what, I've got no change thanks to this government. That's about as much a change as I'm going to get, I think, from this lot. We're skint. We haven't actually got the ability to grow the economy. There are so many ways, actually, in which we're being held back, and that we're the only party that can actually change that and build a brighter future for this country, and that's exactly what we're doing here. Now, you can see there's lots of bevies on the go, the pub, you're doing we're proud. Now, as well as the booze on tap, we've got this brilliant little slogan here, like you'll see right here, come with me. It's time for reform, and that's exactly the message that we're making loud and proud tonight. There's also another message that I want to convey, because on this stand here, we have the ability for people to actually put themselves forward as candidates for the party, and ensuring people actually have the ability to cross-reform at the ballot box is so important to our mission. The uni party, the established parties, would rather that actually you stayed at home, that you didn't get involved in the democratic process. We need you to. So the message I have to everyone that cares about the direction this country's going to go in, to get involved. Come to a stand like this, put yourself forward. It's easy to do, and we'll make sure that actually we'll have enough of a slate of candidates to ensure that everybody in the Isle of Wight can actually vote Reform UK and elsewhere. That's my message to everybody there. You know, my mum and my brother were both elected in Durham, and well, they were nervous at first, I won't lie to you. I think there was a certain trepidation, but they love what they're doing. In our community, the place I call home, the place I was born, that's exactly the kind of community action that we need in places like this too. So, right, we're going to go down to the studio now. Hello, 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 hello. Sir, can I ask you what's brought you out tonight?
I was very interested to find out what reform is all about.
And have you...
Last time I voted Conservative, I'm not sure I will again.
And why is that, sir?
Because I think we need some change.
Well...
And a lot of things are done very badly, or not at all done.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. Thank you very much for coming out tonight. Now, it's packed. This room is packed, and that gentleman there mentions the Conservative Party. I don't think the Conservative Party could pack a room like this, do you?
I wouldn't have thought so, but I'll tell you what, I'm 75 years of age. I've never, ever been to any political meeting in my life. I'm so fed up with the way this country's being run. I waited 2.5 years to have a new hip. I've been told 4 times, in fact yesterday, now maybe May, maybe.
Well, God bless you. You must be in pain.
A little bit. I had to walk all the way down the road because I couldn't get in here.
Yeah, God bless you, God bless you. See? That's determination for you, is it not? Thank you very much for everyone that's come out. Now, we're going to make our way over to the studio. Look at this beautiful scene of the Isle of Wight. Beautiful, beautiful, picturesque. Now, Britain is broken, reform will fix it. So who are the key messengers who have actually been making clear to parts of the electorate after election victories that actually reform is the party to fix it? Well, 2 groups of councillors who are actually with us this evening are Nathan Robbins, who Nathan has just won, by the way, in a by-election in James Cleverly, the former cabinet minister's seat. Now, Nathan is an apprentice. Nathan has made the first inroad into Essex from our perspective, from a Reform UK perspective. And it's been a brilliant victory because, as I say, a former cabinet minister, a former Secretary of State, a former contender for the leadership of the Conservative Party, and we've made inroads there. That's exactly why, dare I say, that they didn't want the elections in Essex to go ahead. Can you believe that? Yeah. I think Nathan's election victory proves exactly why they didn't want us to be able to actually take place in the democratic process. How long would that roll on for? How long? As long as they could get away with it. But we stopped it. It was our judicial review that enabled democracy to go ahead. And I think that's one of the most brilliant things we've done as a party. As well as Nathan, we've got Councillor Charlotte Hill. Now, Charlotte is a legend of the pothole. Now, people might think, what's old Grimesy on about here? Well, actually, the pothole matters. If you've been out in your motor and you find that your tyre has gone kaput because of a pothole, well, it's about the worst thing that can happen to your day. You know, you cannot get on with it. You've got to pay the expense. Being able to deliver for people on the ground at a grassroots level in communities, that's exactly what we were elected to do, and it's exactly what we have done. And we'll hear more about that momentarily, because Nathan Robbins and Charlotte Hill join me now. Thank you very much for both coming down this evening. I have to start with you, Nathan. Just elected, you smashed the Conservatives into, I believe, 4th place?
Yep.
4th place. Can you believe that? Has it been a bit of a roller coaster? Because, you know, not every councillor in the country gets to do something like this, but they do get to deliver for their communities, you know, and that is such an important thing, and it's such a rewarding, beautiful thing to be able to do as well. How have you found it?
It's been great. From that first moment of putting my name forward to then being actually selected and campaigning, going out every day, I think one of the most amazing parts about it is speaking to people on the doors, hearing about what they're fed up with, whether it's the roads. Back in Braintree we have RAF Wethersfield. People have had enough. So to go from all of that process to then actually win the election and now be in a position that we as Reform and me as myself will be able to finally start making change back in Braintree is amazing.
So, I agree with you, but most people might be thinking, well, hang on a minute, Nathan. Most 19-year-olds would want to do what Darren Grimes did last night and have a drink in the Man in the Moon in Newport. But actually, you've chosen to get involved in politics instead. You're doing an apprenticeship right now. What made you decide that you wanted to take this step too?
Well, I think as young people, we have a responsibility that if we want a future, we need to get involved. There's never been a time like this in British politics, and this is, I think, our only chance to make a better future for ourselves and for future generations.
Did you consider going to university? Because, well done. I was going to say, did you consider going to university? Because I imagine if you did, you'd come out somewhere to the left of Jez Corbyn.
Absolutely not. I would never have went to university. I think that is possibly my worst nightmare.
Well. I mean, it goes to show, you know, all these, there's too many Mickey Mouse degrees in which these kids go through university and end up leaving feeling shortchanged, Charlotte. Thank you very much for coming. And Charlotte, you're a former Miss Derbyshire, right? How does that compare to being on the council and helping run things in your patch?
Do you know, it's actually really similar.
Oh.
I think that people try and make it a bad thing, but entering beauty pageants at the age of 17, I got out there in my community. I started doing community events, and it really got me out there speaking to different people from a young age.
Yeah.
So it really prepared me for politics.
What's been the most rewarding thing for you? Not just the filling of potholes. You were, of course, our pothole queen in our video messaging, but it does matter to people, and what matters to people matters to us.
It does, and I think I come from a semi-rural place in South Derbyshire, and I really want to see South Derbyshire protected. I've grown up there all my life, so I want to protect the countryside and the childhood that I had for my future children, and being given the opportunity to represent Melbourne and Woodville, it makes me honoured to be able to do that for my own community.
And on Nathan's point, Charlotte, the point of, I want to be able to have a future. I've seen in this room, there are loads of young people. Is that message, you think, of young people feeling that their future is in jeopardy, is that something that you're hearing as well?
It is, and I unfortunately went to university, so I had that experience of being told, as a Farage supporter since the age of 14, I had history teachers tell me, they reprimanded me for voting for Farage in a mock general election. Wow. So I've had that experience of teachers and lecturers telling me that my opinion is wrong and trying to create carbon copies out of the education system. And it's not what it's there for. So I just think now we're here holding events like this up and down the country. They're not laughing now, are they, Darren?
Well, no way. It's true. And I'll tell you what, Charlotte, I think votes at 16 that the Labour Party are pushing through is going to backfire on them, actually. I don't think any 16-year-old thinking, I want a future, I want future prospects, is going to vote Labour.
No, and the media is full of so many hope stealers now as well, isn't it? The younger generation have told we can't do things, and I think it's because they don't want us to. They're scared of what we will achieve, and that's a good thing because reform will empower them to achieve those things.
What would your message be to those who think, like I've known so many people who've thought this, I don't want to put myself forward because actually I'm worried about what it'll entail. Were you nervous to take that step into elected office?
Well, for me personally, Darren, whatever I put my mind to, I'm pretty headstrong, so I go ahead and do it anyway.
We like it, feisty.
Yes, my partner vouched for that. But I think that reform is something we can't let us pass by, and as a young person, hopefully wanting to have children in the future, I can't just sit back and watch my villages deteriorate.
Yeah. Nathan, that same question to you. You know, people who are feeling like, hang on, I might get attacked, you know, I might, a whole slew of issues where they feel that actually maybe life would just be easier if they just didn't get involved. Why is it so important that people do take that step?
I think we have a chance, and if we don't take this, we will never get a chance again. So I think it's really important that even if you're thinking, do I, maybe, say yes, and if you say yes, you'll end up in amazing places.
Yeah, I mean, very well said. A good example of that, you know, my mum was elected. She's now the Vice Chair of Durham County Council. Can you believe that? She wasn't expecting that for our Mother's Day present. And indeed, my brother as well. And the way in which they've been able to do things that actually influence our own community, where we all grew up, all our family live, it's a beautiful thing to be part of. It really is. And I'm going to move away right now because I've actually got some breaking news, both Nathan and Charlotte. I have some incredible news. And this news just in is that there is a bull on the loose in the Isle of Wight. A bull on the loose in the Isle.
Good evening, Darren. A bull on the loose, really?
Oh, well, good evening, David. Now, you've been up to no good, have you? A bull on the loose?
I'm always up to no good. Can I just say, though, that Charlotte and Nathan represent the best of Britain, do they not?
David, one of the gentlemen here who is a member of the public, as opposed to our brilliant, members who actually help maintain the party and keep us all able to actually go out and campaign and leaflet and all the rest of it, the message there was, I've never been involved in politics before, but actually I'm feeling like I have to get involved now. You've been up and down, you've seen thousands of people. Is that the message you're hearing?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been around the country. I've seen 7,000 people in 7 months right across the United Kingdom. It is extraordinary, actually. And I say this, and I don't say it lightly, I think this is the last chance scenario to save Britain. And I really believe that passionately. I've been to former very, very strong Tory strongholds who will never vote Conservative again because they have let the country down. I've been up to the north, I've been to Labour working men's clubs. Again, they say they will never vote Labour. Look at the shambles this current government is. No policies, no direction, and quite frankly, they should be out of office.
Absolutely. And David, one thing that worries me is the voter apathy, where people say, do you know what, I voted for Labour because they promised change, I voted for the Tories because they promised change. Do we mean it?
Well, I think the real problem for me, and I spent a long time in Gorton and Denton at the by-election, if you remember, I was up there and I was talking to loads of people and saying, how are you going to vote? And they said, well, there's no point me voting because my vote doesn't count. Every single vote counts. People died for us to have the democratic right, and that's the one thing I would say to everyone. And just in terms of that, let me just say, I was an MEP with Nigel in the European Parliament. Look, we got Brexit over the line, and then what happened was the Conservative government let us down. They never wanted to Brexit. We still haven't Brexited. We annexed 2 million of our citizens in Northern Ireland. If it had been done correctly, Britain would be free, it would be independent, it would be prosperous, and under a Reform UK government, let me assure you, that is exactly what is going to happen.
Hear, hear.
Well, Darren, you have done a marvellous job, thank you, warming up the audience and also setting the scene for those people who are members and supporters and those people who are here to find out more about Reform UK. So, ladies and gentlemen, please thank Darren Grimes.
Thank you, thank you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, good evening, Newport. Oh, come on, you can do better than that. Good evening, Newport. Yeah. Let me tell you, I'm so delighted to be back here on the island because the last time I was here, it was a stag night. And I don't really remember going home. So let's hope tonight ends much better than that particular outing. Now, for those people watching around the country, we're live streaming to people across the United Kingdom tonight. The Isle of Wight is, of course, home to Osborne House. Everyone here knows that. It was Queen Victoria's favourite home, the place she called her palace by the sea. And, of course, it was the place she chose to spend her last moments. The Isle of Wight also synonymous for its festival, which attracts hundreds of thousands of people and huge international acts. One of the things about this island, which I think really stands out, is it's characterised by some of the most hardworking, straight-talking, and genuine people you could ever meet. And that is why I think you deserve a round of applause. Now, what I can tell you, as chairman of this party, I am so thrilled to bring you this news. The latest polling shows that Reform UK is now on course to win both seats on this island, which really is an incredible achievement. Honestly, it is utterly extraordinary. Well, I'm Dr. David Bull. For those of you who don't know, I am the chairman of this great party. And as we heard earlier, it is so good to see everyone here tonight. Some of you are supporters of the party. Some of you are members of the party. But many of you, and I've been watching you all come through the door, many of you have never had an affiliation with a political party. Some of you have never voted. But I think the reason you are all here tonight is because of the sense of frustration, desperation, and anger at the way our country has been run into the ground. I have to say, this current government is the worst I have ever seen in my lifetime. If I was to try and sum up this government, it is directionless, it's rudderless, it's devoid of principles, it's devoid of policies, and it lacks any sort of coherence. And I've been reflecting on why that is. Great countries need a great leader. So what do we have? We have Keir Starmer. So let's just remind ourselves, Keir Starmer is a failed human rights lawyer who prefers Davos to Devon. He is a man who has alienated almost the entire British electorate. Let me just tell you this, his net approval rating is now -47. And I was just doing some calculations on that. In fact, his approval rating is now so bad that at this point, the taxman, the British weather, and even an early Monday morning alarm clock are more popular than the Prime Minister. So for those of you interested in seeing what Reform UK can offer, I thought I should start by just reminding ourselves of how the main parties have consistently and constantly destroyed people's hopes, their aspirations, and their futures. Let's start with Labour. This Labour government is out of ideas and, as I said, out of time. Now, astonishingly, and this really is quite remarkable, they are now on their 16th U-turn. Now, what does that say? It says they have absolutely no idea what they're doing. They have no idea how to grow an economy or help businesses to thrive. They have also launched full frontal attacks on people who set their alarms and work all hours that God sends. The rise in employer national insurance contributions has clobbered businesses. Many of them are closing as a result, or they have stopped recruiting. They're also waging war against people who prudently save, or people who want to buy their own home, or dare I even say, who want to send their kids to private schools. They have pretty much attacked everyone in this country. They've attacked our farmers, our industrial base, our pubs, and worst of all for me, our pensioners. This insane bunch have presided over rocketing energy costs, and they worship on the altar of net zero. And if it wasn't bad enough, in a very, very unstable world, which we see every single day in the newspapers, they are trying to give away sovereign British territory in the form of the Chagos Islands against the wishes of the Chagossian people. And when it comes to the conflict with Iran, this hopeless government doesn't even seem to know which side it's on. It still hasn't sent a ship to Cyprus, British territory. We don't even have a British ship to escort the HMS Prince of Wales to the Middle East. So what do we have to do? Well, we have to go cap in hand to the French, to the European allies, and to the US. Ladies and gentlemen, that is embarrassing and it's unacceptable. Would you not agree? I don't even know how they come to the decisions they make. They're now allowing the Chinese to build a super embassy with secretive rooms in the heart of London, just meters from critical infrastructure. By any means, that is utter madness. The future is bleak. And is it any wonder then, over 250,000 hard-working young people have already left the country since Labour came to power? And unforgivably, they have allowed the illegal invasion of our country to continue unabated. Now let me tell you some figures, because total illegal immigration for last year was 41,000. Now, despite the protestations from the Prime Minister, that is actually up 13% on the previous year. In fact, last year had the second highest number of crossings. And since Labour came to power, an astonishing 65,000 people have come here illegally. Ladies and gentlemen, this government has been nothing short of an unmitigated disaster on every single front. But now let's turn to the Tories. Let's not forget, it was the Tories that broke Britain. They presided over record tax hikes, if you remember. The tax burden under the Tories reached a 70-year high. They were responsible for austerity and public service erosion. They implemented deep cuts to councils, to courts, to youth services, and to social care. They also stood by and allowed a cost of living crisis. And despite everything they tell you, they bankrupted this country by tripling our national debt. They also repeatedly missed house building targets, and as a doctor, I can tell you, they destroyed the NHS. Just look at the figures. They left us with record waiting lists, staff burnout, and shocking clinical outcomes. I mentioned this earlier as well. They betrayed Brexit. They allowed the annexation of Northern Ireland. 2 million of our citizens live in Northern Ireland. They put a border in the Irish Sea, abandoning those people who live there. And something I cannot forgive them for. They turned this country into a police state in the COVID pandemic. And if that wasn't bad enough, I saw this myself. They consigned elderly people to die alone, frightened, and without family. And that, quite frankly, is totally shocking, unacceptable, and they should never, ever be forgiven for what they did to our elderly people. And before you listen to the rhetoric where they blame Labour for immigration, it was them who were responsible for an open-door immigration policy. They let nearly 150,000 illegal migrants into this country. And Boris Johnson allowed 3.8 million unskilled migrants legally into this country. Let me tell you, of those 3.8 million, half of them have never worked. The Tories must never, ever be forgiven for what they did. So my message to you here on the Isle of Wight and across Hampshire is the Tories simply cannot be trusted with your vote on May the 7th. Never again. Quite right, madam. Well said. So, given the two main parties have abjectly failed the country, some people are turning to the Lib Dems in desperation. You'd have to be desperate. But who are the Lib Dems? Do you know what they stand for? Neither do I. They have 72 MPs, but I will wager this. How many of their policies can you actually name? They're a party with a leader who is more interested in PR stunts than offering a credible opposition, which really only leaves one other party to consider, the Green Party. Well, you may boo and cheer, but remember they did very well in the Gorton and Denton by-election, and they're on manoeuvres. I want to be really, really clear about this. The Green Party is a major threat to British national security. The Green Party is a threat to community cohesion, and remember, the Green Party is more interested in Gaza than in Great Britain. Also, don't forget, the party is led by a man who doesn't believe in borders, who doesn't believe in British national security, and who doesn't believe in upholding the rule of law. Ladies and gentlemen, do not let Zach Polanski hypnotise you into voting Green. So that brings us now to where we are. The country, I believe, is now at a critical impasse. I think we're at a critical impasse, and you all know it. So the country, ladies and gentlemen, let's ignore the gentleman in the cheap seats over there. We are at a critical moment. This is a very serious time for the United Kingdom, and I think you know that, and I think that's why you're here tonight. I believe passionately that Reform UK is the last chance for this country. As chairman, I am so proud to say these few facts. We are now the fastest growing political party in this country. We are now the largest political party in this country. Since I've been chairman, we have gained, wait for this, 5,000 new members every single month since I've been chairman. Every single day I wake up and think, how many members of Parliament do I have today? Because we now have 8 members of Parliament. And when it comes to the opinion polls, we have led the last 250 opinion polls, and it shows no sign of abating. And we are fighting against the infrastructure. We won a seismic victory against this government. Remember, this government tried to cancel elections for 4.5 million people in this country. It was wrong, it was undemocratic, and thanks to the fight mounted by Reform UK, that wrong has been put right. Those 4.5 million people will now vote. It's really clear to me that the people of the Isle of Wight and across the country are desperate for change. The status quo, we know, is not working. But Reform UK is working for local people where we got elected last May. Darren made reference to some of it, but I want to just tell you a few things. In Staffordshire, Reform has saved 63 county farms from being sold. The Tory administration sold over 30. That stops under a Reform UK administration. As you heard, in Derbyshire, Reform cleared the pothole backlog completely. We inherited 17,000 potholes. Now, today, there are none. And in West Northamptonshire, Reform served notice on all 3 asylum hotels in that area. We are determined to shut every single asylum hotel in this country. And then when it comes to council tax, Reform UK councils have saved hundreds of millions of pounds whilst keeping council tax as low as we possibly can. Unlike the failed establishment, we really are delivering for local people. Now, in just over 8 weeks, on May the 7th, elections are taking place across the country, including here on the Isle of Wight. I cannot emphasise to you how important these elections are. They really are equivalent to the US midterms. This is your chance to hit the government where it hurts. And the way, ladies and gentlemen, to do that is to vote for Reform UK. Well, our next speaker needs very little introduction. She has been a fearless voice in national politics for years, someone who has never been afraid to stand up for what she believes in, even when it is unpopular or difficult. She has consistently spoken for the millions of people across this country who want secure borders, common sense government, and leaders who put Britain first. Now, on the 26th of January of this year, she took a very bold step by joining our movement, the only party determined to challenge the political establishment and fight for real change. I am, of course, talking about our Member of Parliament for Fareham and Waterlooville, and, of course, our Shadow Education and Skills Secretary. Before we meet her, though, let's see her in action.
I'm a politician. I want to feel inspired. I want to feel motivated. I want to feel part of a mission that is on its way to save our country, and for too long the Conservative Party just hasn't been that. So, you know, it's been a growing realisation. It's just become apparent how toxic the Conservative Party is, how it's not for me. It's not for me, and I'm very happy to be leaving the Conservative Party behind.
How are you? Right.
He was right on Brexit. He's been right on immigration. Far before many people were talking about these problems, he was brave enough to raise his head above the parapet and voice the anger and the frustrations that millions of Britons have been feeling.
Somebody who's reached high office in the cabinet, reaching up to the rank of Home Secretary, but was there during those years and saw the betrayal, and now has the courage of her convictions to come and stand with me on a Reform platform and speak to you today. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome to the stage former Home Secretary Suella Braverman.
I want to say thank you. I feel like I've come home.
And welcome home, ladies and gentlemen, Suella Braverman. Hello. Lovely.
Oh, well done.
Thank you. Come home.
Good evening, Newport. Hello, everybody. We have had a wonderful, wonderful day on the island today, meeting local businesses, local students, the future of the island and indeed the future of our country. And I'm the Member of Parliament for Reform UK, just on the mainland in Fareham and Waterlooville. And it is a great honour to be here with you this evening. I want to start by saying thank you. Thank you to those of you who have joined Reform, who have supported Reform over the years or months, because you love this country, you believe our best days are ahead of us, and you want change. Thank you for standing up for Britain. And to those of you who are not members, but are here out of interest, who want to learn, who want to check us out, I want to thank you. Thank you for giving up your Monday evening, for being here. You too care about the future of this country. You too love our country and you want the best for it. So thank you for putting in the time to find out about Reform. Now, I'm a relatively new member of the gang. I only joined 6 weeks ago. And I've got to tell you this. I wish I'd done it sooner. I wish I'd done it 6 months before. Because what I have found in Reform UK is a mission-driven party. It's not a party, it's a movement full of patriots. A movement that is not daunted by the scale of the challenge facing our great nation, that has a profound belief in the greatness of its people and our country, and has the greatest level of determination to fix it. It's one of the best decisions I've ever made, after marrying my husband. I gotta say that. He'll be upset if I don't. Now, it took me some time, I'll be honest. I had to think about it for a long time, because I had been a member of the Conservative Party for over 30 years. I joined when I was about 12 years old. My mum joined me up because she was a Conservative councillor in London, where we lived. She joined the Conservative Party in the early 1990s, late 80s, because of one lady, Mrs. Thatcher. What a woman. What a woman, hey? My mum looked up to Mrs. Thatcher. Mrs. Thatcher took on Arthur Scargill and the Unions and won. She won the Falklands. She delivered home ownership for a whole generation. She believed in law and order. She cut our taxes and she grew our economy. But above all, Mrs. Thatcher was one of the greatest patriots this country has ever seen. And do you know what? Looking back, I don't think this country has ever had a strong leader like we had in Mrs. Thatcher since. Someone who had the backbone to take on the vested interests. Someone who was willing to put her money where her mouth was and stand up for our great nation. Someone who believed heart and soul in the British people. And so, in the last few years, I realised that something went wrong with the Conservative Party. It was no longer the party of Margaret Thatcher. It was a party that broke its promises. Because the truth is that even as the Home Secretary in the Conservative Party, sitting around that cabinet table with the Conservative Prime Minister and Conservative colleagues, I couldn't force the party to keep its promises. The Conservative Party promised to cut net migration, out of control immigration that's putting pressure on our public services and on our communities. And yet what happened under the Conservatives? Immigration rose. It broke its promise. The Conservative Party promised to do whatever it takes to stop the boats. And yet what happened under a Conservative government? The numbers kept coming and the boats continued their invasion. The Conservative Party promised to lower taxes, and yet it was a Conservative government that rose our taxes to a 70-year high. The Conservative Party promised to bring back law and order, and yet it was under the Conservative watch that we saw extremism and Islamism run riot on our streets. And when, as Home Secretary, I tried to stop two-tier policing, what did they do? They sacked me. That's the Conservative Party of today, a party that utterly failed to do the right thing for the British people. And so, for the first time in many years, as a member of Reform UK, do you know what I feel? I feel some hope. I feel that there is a path forward. I feel that I'm working with people who genuinely care about this country's future and are willing to do whatever it takes to fix it. For the first time in many years, I don't feel politically homeless. I don't feel that I have to hide my patriotism. It's Reform UK that understands the scale of the challenge before us. When it comes to law and order, it's Reform UK that will have the backbone to bring back confidence in our police. Because the truth is, people don't have faith in our policing anymore. Let me tell you something. A couple of years, it was recorded that over 2 million offences went unreported. What does that mean? People didn't bother to report their crimes to the police because they don't think it's going to make a difference. They don't have faith in our policing. Why? Because it's police officers in some forces who are too busy taking the knee. It's some police officers in some police forces who are too busy arresting people for offensive words on Twitter, for saying a man can't be a woman or complaining about illegal migration. It's some police officers where disgracefully some of our specialist firearms police officers have been charged with murder simply for protecting the British people. It's a disgrace. We've got chief constables who have made grand confessions of being institutionally racist. And so they've stopped using stop and search, and their knife crime has got out of control. So you see, woke policing is ruining public confidence and harming public safety. And that's why I genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, feel that there is only one option to save this country, and that is Reform UK. Why? Because it's Reform UK that has the courage of its convictions. It's led by Nigel Farage, a man who has not shirked his duty to tell the truth to the British people for decades. When Nigel told the British people that the EU was destroying our democracy, the establishment tried to shut him down. But the British people supported him. When Nigel Farage said that the country was at breaking point because of out-of-control immigration, the mainstream parties vilified him and demonized him, but the British people supported him. And now, when Nigel Farage is the only party leader with the backbone to say that Britain is broken and that Reform UK will fix it, they're going to try and do everything to stop us. And I'm glad you're optimistic. I tell you, sir, they are. They tried to cancel elections because they don't want to give the British people a say. They try to police our freedom of speech because they don't want the British people to have a say. The establishment is trying to control our freedoms, and we have to stand up to it. And fundamentally, it's Reform UK that has told me some truths about this country. It's not racist to want to cut immigration. It's not racist to want to stop the invasion of illegal migration. And it's not Islamophobic to want to tackle the Islamist grooming gangs or extremism on our streets. Reform UK is the only party that has the courage to tackle these truths and do something about it. And that's why, with a Reform UK government, we will leave the European Convention on Human Rights. We will restore law and order and common sense policing to our streets. And we will bring an end to this divisive and disgraceful extremist sectarian politics that is ripping our country apart. When you come to Britain, you speak our language, you sign up to our values, you pay your dues, and you respect this country. Otherwise, you're out. And so, listen, we've got a big challenge on our hands. The next general election will probably be the most consequential of my lifetime, maybe even some of your lifetimes. Some of you have had a slightly longer lifetimes than me. Not many. We're all youngsters here. And there's a lot at stake. We can either move forward to a patriotic, prosperous, free future, or we can go backwards towards more economic decline, less freedom, and less prosperity and less opportunity for our young people. The choice is going to be very, very clear. The old parties have failed. Vote Reform and let's fix Britain. Thank you.
Fantastic stuff. Thanks ever so much, Suella. Well, that brings us nicely to our final speaker. He is a man who, quite frankly and literally, needs no introduction. Woo indeed. He is arguably the most famous politician in this country, if not the world. His career is long, it's distinguished, and it's most certainly varied. Thanks to I'm a Celebrity, he's gained a whole legion of new, young supporters. He is a social media sensation, a man known for his straight-talking, no-nonsense approach. Now, last year, he was voted most influential politician in Britain at the Spectator Awards. And YouGov, well, it gets better because YouGov now cites him as the most popular politician in the country. But ladies and gentlemen, let me be clear. Soon he will make history again when he becomes the next British Prime Minister. Before we meet him, let's see him in action.
We are all ships rising on a turquoise tide, headed towards winning the next general election. This government is deep in crisis. They are not fit to govern. The Conservative Party are riven. There is a new, strong, unified party, the party that stands up for decent, working people, and we are the party on the rise. The energy has been unbelievable. The enthusiasm has been extraordinary. You are the people's army.
Reform is now in government. And the big shout-out message, and it's very, very clear, is if you vote reform, you get reform. And when it comes to country, of what a nation is, this is where I do personally want to confront the Prime Minister head on.
No one cares more about the state of this country than I do.
There is nobody more determined than me.
But I tell you what, folks, that was just the beginning. Thank you very much indeed.
And now, please welcome the leader of Reform UK, Nigel Farage, MP.
Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Incredible.
Good evening, Isle of Wight! Well, it's fantastic to be here in your beautiful island, but it's an island, I think, that gets overlooked. How many other political leaders come and address you and give you the opportunity to engage in a democratic process? What, you haven't seen Keir Starmer lately? What, you wouldn't want Keir Starmer to come? No, I can't say I blame you. I thought I'd begin tonight with a profound political statement. I've come to the conclusion that the country is run by a bunch of muppets. I mean, here we are on the Solent, and you think across to Pompey, you think of this country, the greatest naval nation the world had ever seen. Greatest ever. HMS Victory, Warrior, all the amazing sights there. Our strength, our power on the sea, across the world. And as we speak, in the naval dockyard in Portsmouth, and by the way, it didn't take much working out, did it? that the Americans and Israelis were going to attack Iran. They'd been massing ships for weeks. We knew something was going to happen. The Royal Navy said to the government, we better send some assets down to the Mediterranean. But nothing. HMS Dragon, I am told, could be refitted for a further 2 weeks. An RAF base is attacked by Iranian missiles, and we now have to rely on the French Navy to defend us. I mean, I'm grateful that they are. Even the Greeks have sent a ship to help. Of course, it isn't all Keir Starmer's fault. 14 years of Conservative government that put our taxes up to the most they've been since the war, that opened the door to mass migration on a scale that's never seen. And can you believe, of the last 3 million that came as part of the Boris wave, only 20% have work permits. The rest, you'll be paying taxes for the rest of your lives. A government that broke every promise, a government that betrayed the Brexit vote. And by the way, well done the Isle of Wight. What a big Brexit vote we had here. A government that in 14 years allowed vast numbers of people to choose not to work. You can now get disability benefit if you suffer from mild anxiety. I have it every morning when I wake up. Not until they open. But you know, perhaps the biggest sin of all was allowing our armed forces to be denuded to the point where we can't even defend British sovereign territory for weeks, where if we send one of our carriers, it will have to be escorted by other nations. I believe what we've seen in the last few days is the total humiliation of our country. It is truly shameful. And what Starmer's managed to do, he's upset the Americans, he's upset the Cypriots, he's upset all the Arab states that like us because of indecision. And what we need are leaders that make decisions. We may like some of them, we may dislike some of them, but the country needs firm direction. And currently, we are rudderless in absolutely every regard, and frankly, our reputation around the world is, I think, lower than it has ever been. And we're led by people who do not have the fundamental patriotic spirit in their hearts that I believe you in this audience tonight have. Led by weak men and women who don't even tell the truth on their CVs. Anybody here think Rachel from accounts did 10 years as an economist at the Bank of England? No, nor do I. Nor do I. Not for 1 minute.
Tory in disguise.
But be in no doubt. Hello there. Oh, hello. We got a couple of... Gosh. It's all right. That's all right. They've just over-practiced in the bar, that's all. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. And by the way, anybody here that wants to shout me down, bear this in mind. I'm the only political leader that will come to this island, meet your businesses, visit the magnificent Isle of Wight College, have a public meeting, be held to scrutiny, meet your newspapers. None of the others have the guts to do it, so please. So I would have thought the least you can do is actually have the respect to listen, whether you agree or disagree. It's called democracy. And it's what previous generations fought in 2 world wars at massive price to give us, freedom and liberty in our country. The first thing we have to do is to recognize the depth and the extent of the trouble that we're in. You know, unless you go and get the scan at the hospital, you can't find out how big the problem is. Now, Keir Starmer keeps telling us, by the way, Keir Starmer. We're getting some alternative CVs shouted out on the right over here. He'll be gone by the end of May anyway, don't worry about that. The trouble is, he'll be replaced by Ed Miliband or Angela Rayner. I mean, there you are. It's not my fault, is it? Come on. We are in economic decline. Our small businesses are being hammered. Our hospitality trade punished in the most unnecessary way, which for an island like this that relies heavily on tourism is a disaster. For our industries, we now have the most expensive energy prices in the world. And yet they're determined. They're determined. What did Boris say? We're going to become the Saudi Arabia of wind. This country is now down to 2 days' supply of natural gas. If the wind doesn't blow and the turbines don't produce, the way we get electricity is by turning on the tap and burning gas. It is utterly negligent, moronic, to believe that by following net zero and not producing our own natural gas, but importing it from the rest of the world, that somehow we're saving the planet. And what we will do, we will drill for oil, we will frack for gas, and we will reindustrialize our country. It's madness to see refining, cement making, all the heavy industries, all the heavy engineering going to India, going to China, and then we ship the goods back across the world. It is madness. We will be on the side of business. We will be on the side of small business. But most of all, we will be on the side of Alarm Clock Britain. We will be on the side of workers. We will. We can't go on in a country where you're as well off not working as you are working. We will make work pay in Britain, and I say it and I mean it. And our society, we must recognize the societal mess that we're in, and much of it caused by irresponsible, uncontrolled mass migration. Large parts of our cities in which people don't speak the language. Demonstrations on the streets of Birmingham at the weekend mourning the death of the murderous Ayatollah. we have a fifth column living in our country now that hate us and hate everything about us, and that has been done by both the Conservative and Labour Party. And it's a brutal truth to face up to, but it's true. And yet still the boats come. Although not today. It was too foggy, wasn't it? Made me think of the old phrase, fog in the Solent, mainland cut off. And still the young men come across in the boats. Hardly any ever get deported. Well, let me promise you, if you come here by boat, or if you have come here illegally, under a reform government, you will not be allowed to stay in our country, because we will leave the European Convention on Human Rights and get back the control of our borders. So there's a four-letter word. I'm going to throw a four-letter word at you. Are you ready? You sure? The four-letter word that we will campaign on as we fight for the true values that we believe in, and that is putting family first, community first, country first. For those things to happen, we have to give the country hope. Hope is what this country needs. And you can't give hope, you can't offer the recipes if you still believe that Britain isn't broken. And Britain is broken. Britain needs reform, and reform a fresh group of people with real experience of life in the world. Many of us have run companies, made monthly payroll. We are the people to fix Britain, not those that broke it in the first place. And we will stand up and fight for things that matter. Democracy matters. Last year, here in the Isle of Wight, your votes were postponed, weren't they? You were told, no, sorry, it may have been 4 years. You may be paying your council tax. You may not be happy with the Isle of Wight Council, but you can't have your vote. And unbelievably, this year, there were many counties who for the second year in a row were going to be denied their vote. And the connivance that went on between the Labour government, the Conservative opposition, and even the Liberal Democrats got in on the act. That Ed Davey is ridiculous, isn't he? Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. And we stood up and fought for the simple basic principle of no taxation without representation. We took the government to court, I took the government to court, and won back the right for 4.6 million people to vote on May the 7th this year. Democracy, freedom, liberty, these things matter. Now look, I am not in any way an ordinary politician. Some would say I'm not normal at all, I don't know. I don't need to do this. I don't need to be here, although I've got to tell you, isn't it incredible that we filled this place to capacity and hundreds more couldn't even get tickets? Thank you so much for coming. Thank you. I didn't need to come back into this. 20 months ago, I just turned 60, had my first 2 grandkids, doing well on GB News. But I came back into the political fray. I couldn't bear to see Brexit being squandered. I couldn't bear to see our country going down the tubes. I couldn't bear to see us sinking to third world status, and I couldn't bear to see the gutless, spineless leaders that we had of both the parties. And so I came back 20 months ago into politics. I don't need the job. I'm doing it because I want to turn this country around. And I am absolutely determined to do it. But I can't do it. I can't do it without you. You are the people's army that we need. We can only succeed through the mass mobilization of millions of people in this country. We will have everybody against us. We'll have the other parties obviously against us. We'll have the BBC against us. Oh, not keen on my licence fee then? Don't worry, we'll deal with that as well. Everybody will be against us. The trade unions will be against us. Many big businesses will be against us. People want to maintain the status quo, but we know it's a failing status quo. We know this country needs radical reform and radical change. And so I say to you, here on the Isle of Wight, as you face elections that come up on the 7th of May, it's the last big test before the next general election. And I really believe, if we get this right, we can win control of the Isle of Wight Council as Reform UK. I do. So, you like that idea, yeah? Yes! So let me ask you, are you prepared, all of you, in whatever way you can, tonight, to commit to yourselves, to commit to me, that you're prepared to do something about it? Yes! Well, you've just made a commitment. You've just made a promise. You wouldn't break a promise to me, would you? No! Good. What I need, and by the way, hands up here who is not a member of Reform. Oh, crikey. If we lock the doors, they could be here for hours. I would ask you to come and join us. I would ask you to get involved with us. I would ask you to eulogize for us. I would ask you to tell your friends and family about us. I would ask you to join the People's Army, and I do it because if we don't get this right, that next general election may be the last chance we get to turn round this shameful decline that our once great nation has sunk into. And I'm absolutely determined, because you know something? The silent majority agree with us. I know it. You know it. It's just about getting them mobilized. And I would also ask you in this room, we still need more people prepared to put themselves up as candidates to stand in these Isle of Wight elections. Dig deep into your thoughts. Dig deep into your conscience. Dig deep into your sense that you'll be doing this to help your community and to help your country. That is what I need, folks. I need you to help us. If you want to join us, and if you feel like it, please put your names forward. We want people of all ages, of all backgrounds, of all experiences. If we win on the Isle of Wight on May the 7th, and I believe we can, and you believe we can, don't you? All right. If we win on May the 7th, we will then win both general election seats here on the Isle of Wight for Reform at the next general election. Yep, and you as an island will have a much, much stronger voice. You never know. Maybe even more people will come and visit you on a regular basis. But I'll make you a promise. I'll make you a promise. If you win on May the 7th, I'll come back here to this very venue for a victory party with all of you. How about that? So come on, are some of you considering putting your names forward as candidates? Are you all shy? A hand goes up over there, a hand goes up there, and there, and there, and there, and there. I feel like Billy Graham, stand up for Jesus. Fantastic. Those of you that have, there's a table at the back. All you've got to do is fill in a form. It's very, very easy. Thank you. Big thanks to all of you tonight for coming out in such numbers. I'm honoured to share the stage with Suella and many others. Weren't our young councillors amazing at the beginning? Amazing. There is a new young generation coming through. Amongst many of them, they give me hope. They want to work. They want to, do good jobs, get houses, have families, and do all of the normal things. And I'm really, really pleased. Whether indeed it was my time in the jungle being covered in snakes that attracted them, as David said earlier, I don't know. What I do know is this political movement is unlike anything that has ever been seen before in the history of this country. We have topped the last 230 opinion polls, and we're going to go on and fight and win that next general election, aren't we? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Brilliant. Really good. We do it well. Oh, look at that. Whee!